Good afternoon. I am Debbie McKeever, founder and owner of Strong and Healthy Temple, a virtual holistic health and wellness coaching practice. It's a lovely day today, but the acorns are falling at a rapid rate, so I'm hoping to get through this video safely. Anyway, just wanted to speak briefly about making room for what you imagine, and I want to talk about that from a mental aspect because it's my personal belief that all change starts on the inside first and then manifests to the outside. Real and lasting change. When I say change, and I spoke briefly about this in another video on perception of self, but I want to talk about it from a different perspective. I want to talk about it in a sense of, gaining enough momentum to make the changes externally without having change your mindset and what the impact on that can be when you don't make the change mentally first. And I'm going to use a couple of examples here. One of them is weight loss. I actually know a couple of people like this personally, unfortunately. And it's really great that they manage to, work out and, get the body of their dreams. But what they didn't do was change their mentality. So on the inside, because the change didn't come from the inside out, they're still that same, insecure, overweight person internally. And so a lot of times, that reflects as them being, overly critical and judgmental of people that are where they used to be. Like, a lot of body shaming comes with that, a lot of judgment and, harsh treatment, and just, you can just see the negativity and the insecurities manifest themselves because although they look like, externally what they want to look like, mentally, like I mentioned, they're still they still have all those insecurities, and they still, have that fear of, being back where they were again, the fear of gaining all the weight back. The same people that they're criticizing, really they see themselves in that person, and that's because they didn't make the change mentally first. Another example is, a person who may have, managed to, make money and gain success without changing the way that they see themselves mentally. While their bank accounts may have grown, they still have that same scarcity mentality where they have this fear of running out. And so they're, that comes across as them being really selfish and being hoarders and, not a person that shares or, because they're just always thinking that, if I give too much, I'm gonna run out. They don't support, other people because, the idea, their scarcity mentality feeds them the idea that there's not enough success and there's not enough wealth out there for everyone, when that's not the truth at all. But because they didn't make the mental changes, they still have all this fear around money and success. They haven't really changed who they are. They just happen now to have more money, and externally they appear to have, a lot of success, and they could, be successful or be an influencer or what have you, or even be, a celebrity or whatever it is, but they still have that scarcity mentality and that fear of, running out of money, or that fear of not being successful anymore, being that poor person. So when they look at other people in that same predicament, it's just like with the weight loss, they see themselves in that person. Another example I can use is, being promoted in your job. You may have started out in the mailroom and now you're the CEO, but because you still have the mentality of a person who is that entry-level person, it comes across in your poor leadership style. So now you're, overly critical, or you're a micromanager. you don't listen well. You know, you're not really a good leader because you still don't see yourself, you know, as an executive, but rather you see yourself as somebody who is not deserving to be in the position of chief executive officer. And so my point to all this is even if you manage to gain enough momentum to make changes externally, if you haven't changed who you are on the inside, you're still going to see yourself as the person that, you know, that you were before you made the change externally, and it's going to manifest, you know, in your poor attitude. 9 times out of 10, you're going to have a poor or negative attitude, or you're going to, you know, you're going to live, you know, in constant fear. Another example I can use is changing your diet and not believing yourself to be holistically well. Okay, a lot of people practice vegetarianism or veganism, and I bounce between vegetarianism and veganism myself, but a lot of people practice it, you know, for fear of becoming sick. So deep down inside, you know, you're still fearing, you know, that you're not going to be well. You don't see yourself as a person who is holistically well. You see yourself as a person who, you know, might get this disease or that disease. So, you know, it's important that we change ourselves on the inside first, so that when we make the external changes, you know, we have the right mindset around it, so that we're not living in, you know, this constant fear of being poor or being sick or, you know, being demoted or, you know, whatever it is that you've managed to change externally. It's always mindset first. You know, change yourself inside as you progressively make the external changes, and that is what guarantees, you know, real and lasting change. You're making room to be the person that you see yourself as. You're making room mentally, and then as you begin to make those changes physically, you're no longer living, you know, paranoid, basically. So anyway, that is a wrap for that. Just wanted to come on really briefly. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. I would love for you to subscribe to the videos, hit the bell icon to receive notifications of when I release new videos. Share the videos with your network. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and make it a great day.